So there's reports going around that Gervonta Tank Davis, Coach Kenny Ellis says that the plan for Gervonta Tank Davis, if he's successful against Frank the Ghost Martin, the plan for him is to fight Shakur Stevenson next. Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson 1 year, that's fighter of the year. It don't really matter what nobody else do, but let's talk about what's being said in this video. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Catch me live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm also live every Sunday morning with the Sangin' OG KQKC Boxing Network. Sunday mornings 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I ask that you join the channel as a member. Drop super chats and super thanks when you come by the live streams and the videos that we do. And hit me up if you want to debate. My email address is knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com. Or you can just come by the channel when I'm live, and we can get it cracking right then and there, man. We can get it cracking right then and there, man, if you want to debate me. But let's talk about this shit. So, I saw a tweet from somebody saying that Kenny Ellis said that that's the plan for Gervonta Tank Davis, to fight Frank Martin and then fight Shakur Stevens. That's the plan that he's looking to have for his 2024. And Shakur Stevenson responded to it. I'm paraphrasing here because obviously I'm driving and I can't look down at my phone to get the exact quote from y'all, but it should still be up on Shakur Stevenson's Twitter if he didn't delete it. And he don't really do a lot of tweeting and deleting, so you can go look on his Twitter and find this quote for yourself. He quoted the tweet where Kenny Ellis reportedly said that that's the plan for Tank Davis. And he said, basically, salute to Kenny Ellis being a real one. No games, no gimmicks, blah, blah, blah. And if y'all make the call, I'm ready, OG. Some along those lines. Basically saying, giving Kenny Ellis flowers and then saying that if that's Tank Davis playing shit, he waiting by the phone. And he ready to get it cracking. Now, I'm going to say this. Coach Kenny Ellis did a great interview with KQKC over on KQ's channel. KQ allowed me to join the interview. Kenny Ellis was gracious with his time. He answered questions, answered tough questions. And so salute to him for that. There's nothing but respect for the OG and what he's done for the community of Baltimore, Maryland. The young children that him and Coach Calvin Ford have brought up under their tutelage, getting off the streets and teaching them the great sport of boxing that I love, and just life skills to be young men and young women. You got to give him respect for that. And him and Coach Calvin gonna always give my respect for that. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say Coach Kenny Ellis ain't involved in no business decisions with Gervonta Tank Davis. Number one, he don't know what Tank gonna do or who Tank gonna fight. He can have who he wants him to fight, and he believe in his fighter. Shakur also said that in this quote, that he know Coach Kenny believe in Tank. He can believe in his fighter, and he can want that for him, and he can say that that's what Tank want. But remember, Kenny Ellis was telling us that the Frank Martin fight wasn't a go. He was telling us, him and Coach Calvin was talking to us about, Coach Calvin was talking about Eastside Pitbull Cruz. Coach Kenny didn't want that fight, to his credit. But those two gentlemen, they got their opinions on what they want for Tank. And maybe Tank did tell Coach Kenny Ellis this, but I do gotta caveat all of this shit with saying, as I always do, even if the plan look bad, see, that's why I'm me, bro. And other people, they won't keep it real with you, but I'm gonna always keep it real with you. While this is being said that Coach Kenny Ellis said that this is the plan for Gervonta Tank Davis, you can't consider it as confirmation that this is exactly what Tank is gonna do, because Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin Ford aren't involved in picking his opponents. Coach Kenny said that Tank Davis picks his opponents, that he's presented with options, and he has the last say, and he does what he wants to do. So any opponent that Tank fight, that's going to be on him. Al Heyman, and I'm sure he takes advice from Leonard Ellaby still, and maybe even Floyd Mayweather still. So there's that. But if this is indeed the plan, it's the best fight at 135 pounds. It's the best fight at 135 pounds. If you're telling me that Tank Davis is going to stay at 135 pounds all of 2024, and that his two fights at 135 pounds are going to be fight number one, Frank Martin, and then Shakur Stevenson after that, I'm 100% on board with that plan. You get a title defense against Frank Martin, top contender, top 5 lightweight, and also a real good look to give you an idea of what it'd be like to be in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. Even though I know they sparred, they were younger, and whatnot, but Frank Martin athletic, Shakur Stevenson athletic, southpaw. Shakur Stevenson a southpaw. Slick, Shakur Stevenson slick. Good feet, Shakur Stevenson has good feet. Well coached by Derrick James, Shakur Stevenson has a good coach in his grandfather, Wally Moses. And he works consistently with Bo Mack and Terrence Crawford, and Andre Ward is his mentor. So, you know, it's gonna be a lot of brains, a lot of brains going against Tank if the Shakur fight happened. And to first have Coach Kenny Ellis and Coach Calvin Ford have to match wits with Derrick James, that can prepare them for something along the lines of matching wits, you know, with Shakur, you know, having Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward and his grandfather and shit. Like, it's a good preparation, bro. If you had to pick somebody in the lightweight division to prep you for a Shakur Stevenson fight, if you're planning like, yo, I want to fight Shakur at the end of the year, who should I fight first before getting in the ring with him? A couple of names like a Frank Martin would be like the first one to come to mind. Frank Martin, Lomachenko, any top flight southpaw with good feet, athleticism, and has some elusiveness to him will be a good opportunity for you to get ready for Shakur Stevenson. So if that is indeed the plan, it makes sense to fight Frank Martin first and then go into a Shakur Stevenson fight. So I would love the plan. To me, that would mean that Tank Davis was in the 2 best fights at 135 pounds that year, because we already know what everyone else is doing. You got Navarrete Barancek, good fight for the vacant WBO, but that ain't really hitting on shit. Let's keep it a buck. You got Lomachenko versus George Kambosos. We know what the fuck Loma about to do to George Kambosos. Unless Lomachenko turns 60 years old overnight, he about to watch George Kambosos. Unless he turns 60 years old yesterday, and then he's 65 years old by the time they fight, we know what Loma about to do to Kambosos, right? And then you got Shakur Stevenson. We don't know who his July 6th opponent is, but if it's Muratalla and then Tank, then shit. Shakur Stevenson has an argument for the 2 best fights at 135 pounds and fighter of the year. But if Shakur Stevenson's fighting like a Zaire Abdullayev or some run-of-the-mill, like I keep telling y'all, mandatory defense, then I don't know about how what it's gonna look like with him and Tank Davis, like with him having the best 2 fights. So it would be clear that if Tank goes this route that Coach Kenny Ellis is saying that he could go, bro, it's fighter of the year, and it's definitely the best year at 135 pounds, and the shit not close. And the shit wouldn't even be close if that's the route that he does decide to take. I must admit that I'm excited to see how Tank Davis is moving, coming out of jail, being out the ring for over a year, taking on a fight like Frank Martin, and then your team is talking about Shakur next, and then moving up to 140. That's the other part of that quote that we'll get to in a minute. And then moving up to 140 to fight Devin Haney after that. If his next 3 fights are Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and he comes out without losing a single one of those fights, and even more phenomenally knocks all of them out, bro, it's pound for pound #1 fighter in the world, consensus. You can't really, there's no way around it. No way around it. No way around it, bro. If somebody could guarantee me that shit, that's what he gonna do, and that's what's gonna happen, bro, sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. Cause honestly, bro, do I still want the Loma fight at 135? Hell yeah, bro. But I'm sorry, Loma. It's other fights I want to see more than you. I want to see Tank versus Shakur more. I want to see Tank versus Devin more. So if he going Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. Come on, bro. You can't really, there's nothing that you can say about it. We'll see if Coach Kenny Ellis is right. We'll see if he has some insight. We'll see if Tank Davis told him this himself. And if this is what Tank does, I can't wait to see how the rest of 2024 looks. It started off real slow. That's because Canelo ain't fought yet. We don't know what Terrence Bud Crawford is going to do. Things are becoming clearer. Fights are coming, you know, into play. Things are starting to move a little bit. And I expect that it's going to heat up in the summertime. And then the back half of the year is going to be, it's going to be strong. It's going to be real strong. Early in the year, last year, we had all the big fights. Sometimes it takes a year for things to shake out, and then dominoes start falling into place after that. So you had Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford in July, Tank and Ryan in April, Devin and Loma in May. You had Cool Boy and Monster in May. A lot of the big fights last year happened earlier in the year. But as we get to April, May, June, July, I think fights will start getting bigger. Shit will start getting better. We know we got Beterbiev and Bivol already on the marks. You know you got Fury and Usyk already on deck. And then once we start getting what Tank does this year, once we see what Terrence Crawford does this year, you know, once we see the Usyk Fury winner potentially fight Anthony Joshua, things is looking good, bro. Things is looking good for boxing. I just hope. Remember I told you guys when Calvin Ford was talking about Isak Pitbull Cruz and how I hope he dead ass wrong. Respect to Coach Calvin, but you need to be quiet and say you just want what Tank want, or say what Tank said he gonna do. Cause we don't want no fucking Pitbull fight. I'm saying the opposite for Kenny Ellis right now because I'm consistent, bro. If Kenny Ellis is right, then keep talking that shit, because this is a plan that fight fans, Tank Davis fans, Tank Davis haters. I ain't talking about fanboys, bro. And I ain't even gonna say Tank Davis haters, because if you hate the man, you just hate the man. But fight fans, Tank Davis fans, or people that are critical of Tank Davis but don't hate him, this is a plan that they can get behind. If you can't get behind this, if you can't get behind Frank Martin, Shakur Stevenson at 135, move up Devin Haney at 140, if you can't get behind that, bro, then you're gonna forever hate this young man, and there's nothing he can ever do to gain your respect. That's it. That's all. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Comment below, smash the like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace out.